Dumela, Kunjani, and hello. My name is Sean, and today I would like to show you how to make an earthworm farm using bathtubs. This is a cast iron bathtub which weighs over 200 kilograms, and we have a plastic bathtub which weighs roughly 20 kilograms. We'll have this one at the bottom and reinforce it with a couple bricks, and then we're going to have the lighter one on top feeding the heavy one. Now we need to move this one into place, so let's do that. Okay, no, that's a bit heavy. I want to call some friends. Okay, cool. You guys can take that side and then take that side over. Okay, we're gonna go this way around and then forward next. Okay. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Oh. Awesome. Okay, thank you so much. So this is an old bath system. The idea, which or the concept, was that to have a bath and then and then the liquid would fall into another bath. Keep that moist, and then the liquid fall into the third bath, keeping that moist, and then at the bottom here I've got a container, and as you can see it's a very small container, so when it rains a lot it overflows, which is why I want to use a bigger container. But this is the first, actually my second design of baths. The first design was just two, one on top of each other, but this design, as I say, we're going to use this area over here, and we're going to put the bath over there, and then it's going to fall into the bucket, and then I'll have a secondary bath like so. And there's the property that we would really like to buy and grow 1,000,000 trees on. So this is our final position in the bath. The bath is now sturdy on the ground, and the outlet is going into the bucket at the bottom here, so it'll capture the wormwee. Wormwee is a fantastic fertilizer for the garden, and that is the entire reason why we're doing the earthworm farm. Because when we start working in the garden, we must work from the ground up. Their off cuttings is called Vermicast, which is a black gold for the garden, and then liquid wormwee, which every time I say it, I giggle in my head. Okay, so that's what we're doing right now. We're going to be laying this bath up with different layers. We're going to start with the wood, then we're going to have some mulch, and then some soil. Cheers. There's the sticks as a layer in the earthworm farm. This should be about 10 centimeters high, and as you can see, consists of sticks that are about 2 or 3 centimeters in diameter, going right down to a couple millimeters. The soil on top will compress, and these twigs will allow the water to run down and fall down at the bottom into the catchment area, which is going to catch all the earthworm vermicast. And as you can see, it's been placed perfectly so that the dripper goes into the bath. Okay, so now we've got the second layer on. The second layer is straw or hay, which goes 5 to 10 centimeters high. On top of this layer, I'm going to be putting some manure, and on top of the manure I'll be putting some more compost material, and then the earthworms. So this hay is where the earthworms will spend 80% of their times at the bottom, and then crawl up to the top or wriggle their way to the top of the surface and eat the compost on the top. Okay, so this is the manure. This is really good to activate the decomposing of the soil and the organic material. The manure I got from ARC, which is South Africa's Agricultural Research Centre, up the road in Irene. And this particular manure has already been dried, probably about 6 months to a year. So on to the next layer. Okay, the next layer is going to be leaves. So we'll just add some leaves. It's now winter time, so there's a whole lot of these in the garden. Just put a layer of that around. Okay, we got one more bag of compost. Okay. And then the last layer of manure on top. I'm going to get some earthworms, put them in the ground. Okay, so I got some worms, and I'm going to add the worms to the new earthworm farm. You know, the worms, they don't look that scrumptious, but they are the star of the entire show. These earthworms, they will produce so quickly. That's why we decide on red regulars. We're just spreading them around. I will bring the camera, but you know, they move pretty fast, and they might just go out of shot. But yeah, you're looking for between 100 and 200 grams of earthworms. Red regulars in particular. So what they do is the organic material on top, they eat, and then they leave it in the bottom at night time. But in the day they come up, they eat, and then they go down. But there are hundreds of them here, and maybe I could show you in a picture what they look like. You know, nice and close up. I don't know if you can see that. Okay, I'll put you back, boyki. Or girl. They're actually they change sex accordingly. So if there's not enough females, they become a female. If there's not enough males, they will also change accordingly. So, alright, I'm gonna give them some more cover, because as you can hear, the chickens are around, and I'm competing against the chickens. They're eating the earthworms from the top of the other one. So, having one more bucket of earthworms from the first bath. Just gonna quickly spread them around. Okay, so here are the earthworms. Oh, I don't know if you can see any. There's a couple. They just make their way so fast. There's one there. This is just a layer of organic material that I have from the compost heap that we're just adding here. I think I'll do a second one, because after a couple of weeks, this really just compresses right down, and a compost standing like this goes to about 1/8 of its size, so it really does shrink over time. I always like to put a little too much on the top. I use a black plastic bag or a black lining to just throw on top, and I support it with bricks on each corner. So for now, I'm going to water this bath with about 20 liters of water, because the more moisture that a bath has, the faster the earthworms work. So as I guessed, came back and checked all 4 chickens in the bathtub eating my worms. Lack of organic food. That bathtub can hold up to 10,000 earthworms, so I'm sure I can lose a couple hundred. What I've done is got some jugs of water, and my suggestion is that we just, pour some water on top just to weten it. Okay, so we've watered the earthworm farm on the top with about 20 liters of water, and as you can see, there's a slightly raised, and there's a flow of water, which means that it's doing its job perfectly. Okay, then we move on to the next phase, which is put a seal on top of that and let it be for at least 6 to 8 weeks. Okay, so I'm going to put this black lining on top. This will seal the earthworm farm in. Okay, so the first bath is done. Thank you so much. It's all ready. As you can hear, the water's flowing, so that's a very good sign. It means that it's there's a gravity feed. Okay, so in a hard day's work, we've finally finished with the second bath. There's the one bath leading into the other. As you can see, it drips into the other, and then the bath on the ground will then drip into the bucket over there. Liquid manure or fertilizer, and can be used in the garden. So there's the end result of the two baths.